The following is a paid advertisement for the Teho Garden Maintenance Kit, brought to you by Teho Tools.
Spending time in our yards is so satisfying, not just because we create a beautiful place for our family and friends. We're away from the stresses of life. We're outdoors. We're in touch with nature, with soil, and with plants. And there's one thing that makes this time even more satisfying, and that's having the right tools.
We work hard creating a beautiful, healthy yard, and the healthier it is, the faster it grows. Sprouting, blossoming, thriving with good care. Until the growth takes over and the crisp, neat edges you worked hard to create begin to disappear. Big power tools are too much hassle, so we just don't get them out. Instead, we make do with hand tools. But now, there's the Teho Garden Maintenance Kit. Power tool strength with hand tool convenience.
Teho started with the essential hand tools, the ones you rely on all the time for convenience. Then they added power, so they're faster, stronger, and more precise. And Teho made them lightweight to take the stress off of your hands and joints, so you can work longer in your yard, enjoy your work more, and ache less later on.
They're so light. You can take them anywhere.
You just don't have to carry a big piece of equipment, and you don't have that long wire.
It's a simple tool for a simple job. It does exactly what you need it to do.
Teho has turned ordinary hand tools into extraordinary power tools that you can grab to get things done whenever you need to prune, cut, or trim. The Teho pruner adds power to bypass cut pruning shears to make clean, precision cuts with more power than a human hand. And it's still compact enough to fit in tight spots. The Teho cutter makes quick work of perennials and grasses, cutting to drive new growth or deadheading old flowers. And the lightweight Teho trimmer gives you the control to get clean, even edges, whether tidying up a long strip of hedge or shaping a back deck decoration. Teho tools are lightweight enough to operate with just one hand and feature stay-sharp blades that remove to be sharpened or to replace. Even better, Teho's Go Garden Premium Power System means your tools are ready to use whenever you need them.
It seems that a couple times a year, I spend a really big day in my yard getting everything just the way I like it. But then all too soon, I see this 5 o'clock shadow come creeping up. You know, a shagginess all around the yard. It's never bad enough to get out the heavy-duty power tools with their cords, fuel mixing, and hassles. This is where Teho is so unique. When I see a 5 o'clock shadow now, I grab my Teho and I get the job done. Because I'm jumping on the new growth so quickly, it doesn't take me much time to get my yard back just the way I want it.
No matter how many pruning shears you own, they all have the same problem. Everything depends on your hand strength. Shouldn't be that hard. Teho has added power to pruning shears. They're compact and lightweight, yet they have twice the strength of the human hand. With the wide jaw, you can cut a full half-inch branch in a single stroke, with no hand strain. There's a safety cover for the blade, and a dual switch safety to prevent the pruner from accidental starts. This LED light gives you a better view of your cuts without draining the battery. And where most handles hurt your hand, Teho offers an ergonomic grip for a comfortable hold for right hand or left hand use. But most important of all, Go Garden Power gives you hundreds of cuts for a full day in the yard.
My first reaction was, why do I need electric gardening tools? And so I would say I was a little dubious. But then this pea shrub that I had trouble cutting back before, I took the electric pruners to it, and it was the best pruning job I'd ever done.
It's something I didn't think I needed until I tried it.
It's the first time I've ever used any power tools, and they cut very cleanly. Through the year, I know I'm going to enjoy using those.
This Teho power cutter may look like those grass edgers everyone hates, but don't be fooled. It's designed to power cut clusters of stems, like perennials or ornamental grasses. A sharp machete or even a weed whacker could hack these down, but they won't give you the precision of Teho. The cutter is lightweight, so you can use it with one hand, without strain. That leaves your other hand free to move foliage around for better cuts. Teho's quick-release blade snaps out and in, and it has a dual start switch for safety. Just hold down the main trigger to keep it running long and strong. It's hard work to trim a hedge with these. But surprisingly, it's sometimes even more hassle and work to use the heavy powered options. That's why we put Teho power to work for hedges. Just swap the cutter blade for the trimmer blade, and you're off. The thing that surprises people most about this trimmer is it's both effective and lightweight. That gives you the freedom to shape your cuts and the control to create a clean, straight edge.
The hedge trimmer is incredible. It's very easy. You can actually get a lot of detail when you use it. And you can get the smaller edges, and you can get underneath, and in those hard to reach places where my larger one, you can't.
I had a lavender bush that needed to be cut so it didn't overflow too much, so I just went straight down with it. That was pretty easy.
How much can you get done with the Teho in just 30 minutes? To find out, we took Teho to this typical yard. The Nandina in the front yard needed spring shaping, and the lightweight trimmers cut back 4 inches of new growth with ease, and their maneuverability made it easy to control the shape. The spirea are next. With new growth budding out, we didn't want to cut much, and the cutters were an easy way to deadhead last year's blooms. The pruners clean out the extra growth on these lilacs, and we're able to focus on choosing the best cut. Around back, it's time to cut the candles from this espalier pear, and the pruners cut even the largest candles with ease. Back to the trimmers to shape the potted boxwood. Finally, the pruners cut out dead undergrowth from the ferns, and more bushes. Teho is so easy to use that just 30 minutes makes a big difference in keeping the yard in shape.
When you're at the store, a tool with a cheap price tag can be pretty tempting. But over time, you discover that the manufacturer skimped on the critical parts. Things Teho never skimps on, like the motors and the blades and the power system.
The metal of the blade is really strong. It definitely compared, it was actually probably much stronger than any of the handheld pruners I've ever used.
I have used other battery-powered tools, but they wouldn't have as much power to them. They would start off strong, but then lose their powers.
You'll be in the yard more often, believe me, because you'll find more pleasure in doing so.
Power is probably not the first thing you think about when you look for a garden tool, but it's the one place you should never skimp. Teho's Go Garden Power features the latest in lithium-ion technology, which delivers more power than standard batteries in a smaller space with less weight. Even better, Teho added a fast charge system. That means each tool charges fully in under an hour, the time it might take to make coffee and read the paper. If you don't have time for a full charge, with Teho, it's no problem. And when they're stored off season, they keep their charge. And lithium-ion batteries deliver full power throughout their charge. So what's all this mean? Go Garden Power fits with the way you work in the yard, so your tools are ready when you are.
There are a lot of products that don't charge well. You have to charge them overnight, which is a pain. I would say this was a really fast charge.
I'm not taking out like a power tool, taking out large batteries, clicking them into something, and then plugging it into my wall. This is very simple, just a simple cord into the back of the tool.
I plugged it in and it started, I could reuse it in about 15 minutes. It was enough to get me through what I was doing.
We recently tested the cutting power of Teho's pruner. The grip of a typical 40 to 49-year-old woman delivers 63 pounds of force. The grip of a typical 40 to 49-year-old male delivers 93 pounds of force. Teho's powered pruning shears deliver nearly 200 pounds of force, more than twice as much as a male in the prime of life. So grab your Teho instead of your hand pruners, and you'll cut larger branches, cut more of them, and cut for longer.
No matter how many power tools you own, you probably rely on hand tools a lot more than you'd expect because they're so convenient. Teho tools give you that same convenience, but Teho also gives you power, and that means you'll get more done and ache less later on. You're about to learn how to order your very own kit. And stay tuned. When we come back, we'll look at how Teho solves 5 key garden problems.